Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So by now, a few of y'all should have already heard that unfortunately, allegedly, a young high schooler has tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. Yes, very, very unfortunate situation at this particular point in time. I didn't actually plan on speaking on this issue at all, given that it's still going through due process. That's the step that's happening right now. So I did think it was quite irresponsible, to see persons tweeting about it and now names are being dropped, online as well as it relates to the athletes that are potentially, involved in this particular unfortunate circumstance. Let's just be clear, no names will be dropped here. So in case you're looking to hear that, no names will be dropped here, as it relates to who may or may not be involved. What I will say, just before I kick things off, as it relates to my opinion and what's currently going on for the athlete that is indeed involved. I'm wishing them all the best. That's the first thing I want to say. Clearly, it's already out there that it's a young athlete. So I can just imagine how devastated this athlete is to have such a result or know having this associated with their name going forward, right? I can just imagine, and I'm hoping that this does not deter, said athlete from wanting to still be a part of the sport, going forward. So I just want to put that out there, wishing the athletes all the best and prayers up right now for the youngster. Now, given a little information that was posted online, so I'm just gonna go from there. Apparently, this is a case of lightning striking in the same place twice. Now, I don't see that as a coincidence. I don't care what nobody wants to say, that is not coincidental at all. No, I see persons insinuating that this has nothing to do with anyone that would be there in higher authority. Example, the coaches, right? So I'm there thinking to myself, so are we saying that a bunch of youngsters are going out and figuring out how to get PEDs and giving it to themselves? Are you expecting me to believe that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I believe this, is squarely and the blame should be squarely placed, on the ones in authority, the seniors there. It's kind of interesting to me as well, given what happened in a previous case. I can't really say too much because I don't want it to point, to any specific athlete. So I'm not going to say too much, trackies. But given what happened in a specific case, that happened prior, what I will say is that I'm hoping that an investigation is run into, apparently the same, place allegedly that has these athletes testing positive, for PEDs, whether it's the coach, whoever there is running the show, and have this person, if anything, banned from the sport. Actually, I'm even thinking that the juniors themselves, shouldn't be the ones that are facing these charges. It shouldn't be the juniors, because at this level, ain't no junior going out there saying, give me some PEDs. I want some PEDs to use. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. When it comes to senior athletics and seniors running, they can, formulate these decisions for themselves and understand the risks that they're taking if they do. But for a youngster, nope, nope. There's no way they fully understand, what is at, risk here and are willing to participate, in my opinion, in this happening. So for me personally, thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if this is a case where allegedly, right, it's the same place, lightning striking twice. It's not coincidental, in my opinion. We could potentially, at least I'm hoping, they revisit, the first instance as well, and look into that. And as I said, potentially as well charge the persons there that are in charge, the ones in authority, the coach, whoever may have been there providing these athletes, with said PEDs. Now, I think this also points to, unfortunately, a broader issue happening in the United States as it stands right now. And it's given, though I don't think it is this, but it's given state sponsored. Now, follow me. Right now, there's this current issue with WADA and USADA in terms of covered up drug tests all the way back from about 2011, right? So there is that case currently going on right now, and that is highly, it just hasn't been said, but pretty much alluding to, USADA covering up drug tests as things stand right now, which is very much, if USADA is covering it up, then it's state sponsored. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what they're saying. No, apart from that, you also have the collegiates that are out there that are also finding themselves in hot water. I remember a few years ago, there was one program that had a bunch of athletes coming out of nowhere running super fast. And I'm talking like over the 400-meter distance, I believe. And then come to find out, these people are dodging tests. All of a sudden, they all have whereabouts failures because the thing is, in college, just like in high school in America, there is no testing, right? No, I don't think this has anything to do with track and field per se, because there are other major sports in the USA. So that's pretty much why they don't want to have testing for those sports to thrive, for them to have the next big it name in football, like NFL or whatever, right? And track and field is just benefiting from that pretty much by not, having to get tested, especially in the, NCAA ranks, right? Or that level of doing sports. So, with that being said, right now there's a major concern with the amount of athletes that are currently in the NCAA system. Mind you, as I said, these athletes are not being tested, and it's only when they try to represent on, a national team. That's when they're actually tested, and then that's where you see people starting to dodge tests or potentially, be positive, right? So, with that being said, no, we are looking at high schoolers as well. No, it's kind of interesting because I'm looking back and I'm thinking about a particular video that I saw done recently. And this was after the whole Area 9th situation and how USADA pretty much just slapped him on his wrist. Not, he didn't even get a slap on his wrist. Oh, what am I talking about? He was given no fault, you know? But I just remember a particular video. I believe Oral Tracy did this video where he was saying JADCO, that's the Jamaican Anti-Doping Association, whatever it's what JADCO stands for. But anyway, yeah. That at that particular point in time, he said that it seems as though JADCO willing to go as far as to ban them, for the maximum time, even when it's the first infringement, right? So when you take those things into consideration, the opinion, he formulated at that particular point in time is that JADCO is not working, for the Jamaican athletes. But I'm actually now finding newfound appreciation for JADCO. I don't think I've ever had an issue with JADCO. I remember even when everybody was complaining that, Kishane was tested right after the 100-meter heats, right? And there was a lot of hoopla at that particular point in time. And I believe I was live and I was talking and I was like, guys, you should be expecting this, right? This should be the norm. They should have already had this talk with Kishane that, hey, once they see you, perform in a particular way, they're going to test you regardless of the round, right? So I wasn't at all surprised. But as I said, I'm finding newfound appreciation because, in case y'all don't know, JADCO tests athletes from the young stages, the juniors, the under 20 level, straight up, right? They don't miss anybody. Everybody gets tested. And I think because that's happens, it's now makes athletes or coaches that potentially, have inclinations to probably want to gravitate towards doing, certain things think again, think twice. You will be tested and you will be caught. We don't have a system set up here where high schoolers and college athletes will be able to go through, scot free for all those years performing at a high level, right, without being tested. That doesn't here, but it happens overseas. And because it happens overseas, and by overseas, I mean United States of America, clearly, and now given the fact that, again, at all levels, it seems as though there is rampant, usage of drugs. It's literally given that this is something that is state sponsored at this particular point in time. And it's scary. If this was, say, Jamaica, and from our high school level to our collegiate level to our senior level, left, right, and center, then something is going on right here. Something is strange and something does not add up. So, track is long story short, at this particular point in time, it seems as though, PED usage is rampant at all levels, you know, in the United States of America. But I find where are my thoughts, are that When it's a situation where it's literally happening at the same camp, then we don't only look at athletes. We don't only look to charge athlete. We start to look at the coaches, that are there in charge, and especially at this high school level where unfortunately, it's harder to look at a coach alone on a professional rank because, okay, fine, one coach may coach multiple people, but outside of the coach, their entire team is different, right? So there are different outlets for these athletes from a professional, standpoint to get access. Not high schoolers and not collegiates as well. So if it's a situation where we're no in a particular program from a high school level, it's even worse high school level because come on, what excess are we speaking of, right? So my thought is if we are, at this particular point where allegedly, this is the same camp, we have to start looking at not only the athletes, and as I said, because the athletes are literally the ones to feel the brunt, of everything. They're the ones that are, potentially going to get banned, you know we need to start looking at the coaches. I'm listen. I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that this is coincidental. As I said, and especially at this particular level, I'll be a fool to think that there are not persons there that are a part of the coaching staff that have nothing to do with this for the same athletes, right? So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Um, yeah, this is a very unfortunate situation. As I said, no specifics will be spoken of here. Just waiting, for due process to complete, and then I'll address this again. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.